You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
All right, welcome back. The energy is high, the coffee is definitely brewing, and we are looking at Friday, February 6th, 2026.
It has been quite the week.
I have to admit, I almost started this by saying, welcome to Web3 Wednesday. It's pure habit at this point.
I was waiting for it.
But then I checked the calendar, I looked at the headlines, and I realized, no, today is not about the blockchain. It's about the security of, well, everything else.
Which is, arguably way more important right now. While you were busy working this week, the internet was busy leaking.
Leaking all over the place. We're talking sandwich shops, we're talking government secrets, and this is the one that gets me, AI agents starting to act a little too independent.
It really highlights a critical shift. I mean, we're not just dealing with human hackers anymore.
Right.
We're dealing with AI slop, as they're calling it, broken ransomware, and the very tools that are meant to help us are actually opening the back door.
It is a lot to unpack. So let's start with, I guess, the most important meal of the day, lunch.
You're talking about the Panera Bread situation.
I am. And look, on the surface, a Panera Bread leak sounds kind of funny. Oh no, they know I like the broccoli cheddar soup. But the details here, they're actually pretty serious.
Extremely. This was not a small glitch. An extortion group, Shiny Hunters, they stole roughly 14 million records.
14 million.
And when the ransom failed, they just leaked it all. A massive 760 gigabyte archive.
That's a lot of dough. Sorry, had to. But seriously, 760 gigs for a loyalty program? That sounds excessive.
That tells you how much data was in there. It's not just your soup order. We're looking at 5.1 million unique email addresses, names, phone numbers.
So everything in your profile.
Everything. So let's play this out. Why should you actually care if they have your email and know you like bagels?
Right. What's the real risk here?
The risk is something called credential stuffing. It's not about the bagels at all. People are creatures of habit. If you use that Panera password for your bank
Or your work email.
or your healthcare portal, you're in trouble. They take that list and just run automated bots against thousands of other sites.
It's the domino effect. It's like losing the key to your gym locker, but it's also the master key to your house and your office.
Exactly. And speaking of healthcare portals, that brings us to something much less tasty.
Yeah, we saw some huge hits in the healthcare and government space. The scale is just staggering. We're talking Conduit and Trizetto.
Conduit is a GovTech giant. They got hit with ransomware back in Jan 2025, and the fallout is still growing. We're talking about data for tens of millions of Americans.
Tens of millions. Social security numbers, medical details. I mean, this is stuff you can't just change, like a password.
No, it's permanent. And the Trizetto breach, that adds another layer that's, frankly, even more disturbing.
This is the one that really gets under your skin.
Right. So this one only affected about 700,000 patients. But the kicker, the breach actually happened in 2024.
They didn't find it for almost a year.
A full year. That is what we call dwell time. It's a security nightmare.
Explain that. Why is the time component so critical?
Okay, so imagine someone breaks into your house. If they smash a window, grab a TV, and run, that's bad. But dwell time, that's like someone breaking in and just living in your attic for 12 months.
Okay, that's a terrifying image.
They're not just stealing, they're reading your mail, they're listening in, mapping out your whole life. By the time you notice they're there, the damage is, well, it's limitless.
Right. So we've got leaks, we've got these long-term intruders. Let's pivot to the shiny new thing that's causing all the headaches, the rogue agents.
This is maybe the most significant trend this week. We're moving from AI that just talks to AI that can do things, and the security fallout is just wild.
Okay, so we have to talk about OpenClaw. It used to be called Moltbot, right? A popular open source AI assistant.
It is, and it has a critical vulnerability, CVE 2026-25253. It's a one-click remote code execution flaw.
One-click RCE. Those are three letters you never, ever want to see together. Break that down. What does that actually mean for someone listening?
It means an attacker from anywhere in the world can run commands on your computer. And one click means all they need is for you to interact with one malicious thing, a link, a prompt, anything.
How does the software even let that happen? Is the door just unlocked?
It's a failure in how it handles connections. The technical part is about unsanitized query parameters and the WebSocket handshake.
Okay, a WebSocket is like an open phone line between your browser and a server, right? Constant two-way communication.
Exactly. But that initial handshake, the hello, I'm allowed to be here part of the call, it isn't checking credentials right. In plain English, an attacker can just bypass the safety walls, the sandbox, and run commands directly on your machine.
So if I'm running this AI agent on my laptop to help me code, a hacker can just take over my entire laptop through the agent.
Precisely. And this leads to a brand new concept researchers are calling prompt worms.
Prompt worms. That sounds like something straight out of a cyberpunk novel.
It feels like it. These are self-replicating attacks. So an AI agent on the Moltbot platform gets infected. It then crafts a malicious prompt to send to another agent it talks to.
And it infects that one.
And that one infects another. It spreads like a biological virus, but it's just AI talking to AI.
That is both fascinating and horrifying. We've built an ecosystem where our digital assistants can give each other the flu.
And this flu gives hackers root access to your system, and it's all automated.
And this flood of AI, it's not just breaking security, it's breaking the people who are trying to build things. I saw a report this week that GitHub is thinking about a kill switch for pull requests.
That's a desperation move. Open source maintainers, the volunteers who basically keep the internet from falling apart, are just drowning in what they call AI slop.
It's just code spam.
It's pure spam. People are using AI to generate awful, low-quality code and submitting it just to look busy. It's eroding trust. It got so bad that the Curl project, one of the most important software tools in the world, they canceled their bug bounty program.
Wait, they did what? They just stopped paying people to find bugs.
They had to. They were just overwhelmed with AI-generated spam reports. People would ask ChatGPT to find a bug and just copy-paste the answer without even checking it.
That's the irony, isn't it? The AI is creating so much noise we can't hear the real signal. But, and this is where it gets weird, AI is also the hero in some of these stories.
That is the paradox. At the same time, Curl is drowning in junk. A system called ASE did something incredible. It found 12 out of 12 zero-day vulnerabilities in the new OpenSSL release.
12 out of 12, a perfect score.
A perfect score. And OpenSSL is the software that secures most of the web. These are not easy bugs to find. For an AI to find all of them, it's unprecedented.
So we are in this bizarre place where AI is flooding us with garbage, but it's also the only thing fast enough to find the bugs in all the code.
Exactly. It's an arms race against ourselves. We're using the machine to fix the problems the machine created.
Speaking of arms races, let's talk supply chains, because it's not just the code you write, it's the tools you use. Let me ask you, do you trust your plugins?
After this week? Not at all.
Let's get into the Moltbot agent.
Classic wolf in sheep's clothing. A fake extension shows up for VS Code, the most popular code editor out there. It was called Moltbot agent, and it was impersonating a really popular AI assistant.
So developers think they're installing a cool new AI helper.
Exactly. But what they were actually installing was a RET, a remote access Trojan.
And this wasn't some simple script. The camouflage was really sophisticated.
Whoa, yeah. It used layers of deception. It hid its processes to look like legitimate Microsoft tasks. It used something called DLL sideloading.
DLL sideloading.
Think of it like a fake ID.
Sure.
A DLL is a file with instructions that programs use. Sideloading is when a hacker puts a malicious DLL with a legitimate name right next to a real app. When the app starts, it grabs the fake file instead of the real one because it's closer.
But that is just...
And get this, the fake extension actually had working AI features, so you wouldn't get suspicious right away.
That's the real kicker. It actually worked as an AI assistant while it was robbing you blind. But it's not just obscure plugins. Notepad++ got hit. Everybody uses Notepad++ now.
This one is heavy. Suspected Chinese state-sponsored hackers. They didn't just hack the app, they compromised the entire update mechanism.
So when you tried to update your software to be more secure, you were actually infecting yourself.
That's the insidious part. From June to December 2025, they were serving malicious installers through the official update channel.
And even Docker had a problem with their AI assistant.
The Ask Gordon flaw, a vulnerability called Docker Dash. It allowed remote code execution through image metadata.
Wait, through metadata? Like the little text labels on a file?
Exactly. An attacker could hide malicious code in the description of a Docker image. When the AI read the description to summarize it for you, it executed the code.
Wow. We are just rushing to put AI into all these dev tools so fast that we're breaking the trust boundaries we spent decades building.
We are. We're connecting things that should never be connected. We're giving language models the power to execute code without realizing that, language models are inherently gullible.
Inherently gullible. I like that. Let's shift from corporate tools to personal paranoia. If you thought your private Instagram profile was actually private,
Yeah, this is a creepy one. A researcher found they could get links to private photos and captions just by looking at the HTML source code of a profile.
But the source code is just text. How does it have private data?
It shouldn't. If the security checks are working right, Meta's official line is that it was a CDN caching problem.
Which sounds a lot like corporate speak for, oops, we left the file in the public waiting room.
That's pretty much what it is. But the researcher argues it's a deeper authorization issue on the back end. And in their tests, 28% of accounts showed this leak.
Nearly a third. It just makes you wonder what private even means anymore. But honestly, that's nothing compared to the GPS story. This affects basically everyone with a phone.
This is the silent GPS tracking issue. Most of us think if we toggle off location services or use a VPN, our location is safe.
I thought so. I flip those switches off all the time.
Those switches are just software.
I know.
This happens deeper. The mobile carriers can silently ask your phone to send its exact GPS coordinates using these low-level protocols, RRLP and LPP.
Okay, what is that?
It happens at the baseband processor level.
The baseband processor. What is that exactly?
Think of your phone as having two brains. The main one runs iOS or Android. That's what you see. The second brain is the baseband. It's a totally separate computer chip that just manages the radio signals to the cell towers.
And the second brain doesn't take orders from the first brain.
Correct. The carrier pings the baseband and says, "Where are you?" And the baseband replies with your exact coordinates. Your operating system, the screen you're looking at, doesn't even know it happened.
So a VPN doesn't stop it. The location toggle doesn't stop it.
Nope. Apple's new C1 modem in the iPhone 16e gives you some visibility, but for the billions of phones already out there, if your SIM is active, you are trackable.
Right. So throw away your phone, move to the woods.
Got it.
Well, let's move to our final section, the human element. Sometimes this involves justice, and sometimes just pure incompetence.
You mean the nitrogen ransomware game?
Oh, this story's amazing. Tell us what they did.
So normally ransomware encrypts your files and you pay for a key. It's a horrible business model, but it's a model. The Nitrogen group, though, they shipped an encryptor with a bug that corrupted their own encryption key.
They broke the math.
They completely broke the math. The implementation of the Curve 2559EI cryptography was just wrong.
So even if the victims paid the ransom?
They can't get their data back. It
Yeah.
is mathematically impossible to decrypt. The data is just gone forever.
They turned a robbery into pure, pointless vandalism.
Total lose-lose. The criminals get no money, the company loses all its data. It really shows you these aren't all criminal masterminds. Sometimes they're just bad developers.
From bad developers to good guys getting punished. We finally got a resolution in the coal fire story.
Yeah, this has been going on since 2019. 2 security testers from Coalfire were hired to test the security of a courthouse in Iowa. They were literally doing the job they were paid to do.
And they got arrested for it.
Arrested for burglary. It's been 7 years of legal battle.
7 years. But they finally got a settlement.
They did. $600,000. It's a win, but it's a very late win, and it's a huge reminder that physical security testing carries real-world risks.
Absolutely. And speaking of real-world risks, we have to touch on the insider spy at Google.
Lin Wei Ding, a Google engineer convicted of stealing AI secrets about their supercomputing systems for China.
But it's how he covered his tracks. It's so simple. It's
Yeah.
brilliant.
It is. He was physically in China, pitching these secrets to investors. But to make it look like he was still in the California office, he just gave his access badge to a colleague.
The old scan me in trick.
Yep. The colleague would just scan his badge at the Google office, creating a digital trail that said he was there working when he was thousands of miles away.
Wow.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you can have every firewall in the world, but the human element is always the weakest link.
Always.
So after all that, what's the big theme this week? What does it all mean? This has been a lot for our vocal technologist deep dive.
If I had to wrap it all up, the theme is automation without oversight. Whether it's AI agents executing code without permission, or carriers tracking GPS automatically, or even a ransomware gang automating their own failure. We're building systems that are running really, really fast, and they're breaking things just as fast.
It feels like we've taken our hands off the wheel.
We have. And here's a thought I'll leave you with. Recent stats suggest there are about 1.5 million AI agents out there right now that are at risk of going rogue. As we rush to build this digital ecosystem where machines talk to machines, are we moving too fast to even find the stop button if we need to?
That is a thought that will definitely keep me up tonight.
You're welcome.
And thank you, everyone, for listening. A quick reminder, Update your Notepad++ CAD, check your permissions, even if they don't work. And maybe, just for today, pay for your lunch with cash.
Couldn't hurt.
Stay secure, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Spoken Tech for your ears.